Hello, everyone. It's Yvette Blowitz from SPAITGIRL.com and welcome to the Spirit Girl Book Club. Super excited to be here with you today in our very first 2021 book club show. Happy New Year. How are you? I firstly want to check in with you and ask, how are you? How are you feeling? What's happening in your life? What is going on? Let me know. Are you in lockdown in London? Are you in Australia? Are you in the US, UK, Singapore, Hong Kong, China, India? Where are you today and how are you feeling? And I'm just so grateful to be here with you and to share the love of reading books too. So to give you a little bit of background about me, about a year ago and prior to that, I was creating travel shows at SpiritGirl_travel. So I created the first IGTV travel show, hashtag IGTV travel show, when IGTV launched on Instagram. Back then, it was mainly photos. No one was really doing a lot on Instagram in the video space. Now, fast forward to 2021, and as you know, Reels is there, a 15-second video that you can talk into or add music. So videos now become mainstream. But a couple of years ago on Instagram, it really wasn't. But I was recording regular travel shows, and as you know, due to COVID-19, from Australia out, our international travel has completely ceased. And we don't have a date when it will return. But that's okay because I'm really grateful where I live. I can travel in my own backyard. But I'm super grateful that one of the most positive things to come out of COVID-19 for myself, and you may be able to resonate with this, was that I was able to slow down, to do less, and to get back to the basics of practicing self-care regularly and reading books too. So I've always loved reading books. I got caught up, however, in a couple of years ago saying I didn't have enough time to read books, which was a load of BS. Because when I assigned, as an example, I assigned 20 minutes every single day to reading a book, and that's how I get through my books. So when I discovered I could switch 20 minutes of scrolling through the mobile phone, looking at photos, which really isn't teaching me a great deal in terms of personal development, unless I'm reading, as an example, the actual post, or there's real meaning behind it in terms of a psychologist or something to do with health relating, or there's real meaning behind it. But as an example, when you're picking up a book, and it's on a particular topic, say spirituality or how to meditate, and you're spending 20 minutes of your time learning that, it's something that you can then apply in your own life in terms of how to meditate or how to feel healthier and happier from within. So there are so many benefits of reading. And as you know, there's so much research out there that shows if we read regularly, it helps with the aging process, and we are trying to reduce cognitive decline. And by reading, you can help prevent diseases like dementia and Alzheimer's that sadly at this stage don't have any treatment that is completely going to reverse the effects. So the best thing we can do moving forward is reading books, which is a really great way also to switch off, to have social media breaks, which I love now. Reading, sitting up is really good. You're going to contain the content and have your airways going. But if you love to read a book before you go to bed because your mind is so busy, and you have so much mind chatter and you're thinking so much and you can't get to sleep, one of the greatest things I've discovered that is if I read before I go to bed, it will really give my mind a great workout because it has to do the work by reading the words line by line, and it's thinking, processing. So give yourself half an hour of that or even an hour of that, and you will tire that mind out. So that to me is a really great gift, that reading, not only I'm learning, but I can also give myself a mind chatter break. So I hope those little tips help you with reading and why it's so incredible. I feel that with so much uncertainty still in the world, even though it's 2021, that reading is going to be an incredible self-care ritual and practice to continue and to do, because there'll be, like always, a lot of noise on social media. There will be a lot of noise on mainstream media. There are going to be things this year that people don't like and things that people do like. And I feel that if you can create space from within, so where you're finding your own inner peace and where you're not reacting to what's going on outside, that will help you with this year's journey, and it'll help reduce you feeling like you're on an emotional roller coaster. Because if you buy into all of the news, it's going to be really bad news, really bad news, really bad news. You know, like news generally is full of negativity, full of all the things that are going wrong, full of conflict. And when you read a book and it's on a genre that you really love, or you want to escape on a little mini holiday, or you love fiction or nonfiction, it doesn't really matter. It's a very positive space and place to be, and it will help reduce anxiety, fear, uncertainty, and things like that, compared to, say, if you spent the whole hour on your phone reading all of the devastating news globally. It will consume you, take over you, and I hope that by you being part of the Spirit Girl Book Club this year, and as part of the podcast show SPAITGIRL, if you hashtag Spirit Girl on any podcast app like Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, or here on YouTube, you'll be able to also switch your social media time looking at photos or consuming negative news to really discovering other people's words of wisdom, stories, self-care rituals, and things that they are doing to feel good from within. And I hope that together we are able to learn, develop, and grow and become our own best self by making choices that will reduce the negativity. And if you just tune in this year to anything that makes you either feel sick with your energy, unsettled, like, start becoming aware of what you're consuming and how it's making you feel from within. And then you can make better decisions for your own self, whether spending your precious time is of your own worth. So now that I've kind of said hello, let's get into the actual book club first book of the year. So before I get started, I've got to say a very big thank you also to all of you for being incredible and joining the Spirit Girl Community Book Club podcast, for supporting the travel show, even if I'm not traveling at the moment. But I do hope this year I will get to share some incredible places in Australia for you, plus a numerous throwbacks from my many, many years of traveling, which has been many, many decades now. So I've got to say thank you also. I got this book as a recommendation. I discovered this book and the author which I'm going to reveal now. So the author is Rhonda Byrne, and she is the author of The Greatest Secret. I got to listen to an incredible podcast interview with the podcast host of the School of Greatness, and it was Lewis Howes, and he interviewed Rhonda Byrne. And what was so fascinating, so Rhonda Byrne's actually from Australia and she lives in California. Her last interview was actually, apart from with Lewis, prior to that was on the Oprah Winfrey Show. And she actually is the founder of The Secret, the creator behind The Secret, which was a global phenomena, a documentary film, and a book that really swept the world, and it became millions and millions of people joined the movement, and they really unearthed how your thoughts are so powerful, what you think is what you attract, or all of that law of attraction really went to the next level. So that was incredible. And after she did the Oprah Winfrey interview, that was about it for her, because she really wanted to step away and let The Secret take form and let that be, I guess, the face of the book, the face of the movement, and also the movie and things like that, which I feel is a very selfless act and very beautiful. But look, watching Rhonda Byrne speak, she was just so relaxed, so chilled, so like everything's going to be okay. We are supported by the universe, like this really relaxed, chilled, there's nothing to fear. It was just such a beautiful presence. And I just felt like, wow, if everybody could feel like Rhonda Byrne, wouldn't that be incredible? We wouldn't feel fearful, scared, worried about the future. We would just be present in the now. So it really inspired me to want to read her book. So big shout out to both Lewis and Rhonda for that incredible podcast. And that's the thing with podcasts. I really love podcasts because you get to discover a new author, a new book, more about words of wisdom to help you personally develop and grow, and to really just make sense of this time. It's really nice to listen to people who are living a very fulfilled life from within. And I just feel also that if you discover a book, whether that be on my podcast show or someone else's podcast show or through someone's post on Instagram, or whether you discover or you're inspired to create some content because you've seen it from another content creator, I truly believe the greatest thing we can do is saying thank you, admiration, gratitude, and being grateful that you have been inspired by someone else, and acknowledging them and thanking them can really open you up to beautiful relationships. And it's much better than pretending that you came up with the idea on your own. Like, whoa, I've got this book because, I feel that the universe really responds when we are so open, transparent, and just so grateful if we, got to listen to another conversation and learn about another author and a book. And then we take that idea, we read the book, and then we then want to share it with our community or our book club. And I feel that it's just that contagious, beautiful, soulful gratitude that will set you up in anything you are doing throughout 2021 and well beyond. So on that note, here goes. Here's the lowdown of The Greatest Secret by Rhonda Byrne. So first of all, she's the creator behind The Secret, which swept the world in 2006. So following the book, The Secret, she is also, that secret book, I have to say, was translated into 50 languages and remains one of the longest running bestsellers in the century. So it's the longest running bestsellers of this century, which is incredible for an Aussie author and an Australian woman. So I really that is incredible. So Rhonda Byrne also has other best-selling titles like The Power, Magic, The Magic and Hero. Some of you may have read them. But getting on to The Greatest Secret. So after all of Rhonda's experience of interviewing other people and reading and learning, so she does a lot of her own personal growth and learning. She's now written The Greatest Secret. And I should say that in this book, there are so many contributors. There are so many quotes in here, spiritual leaders, teachers. So I shout out a few. Deepak Chopra. You all know I love Deepak Chopra. She's included Eckhart Tolle, as an example. Many people. There are so many people. So also she talks about her teacher, but the teacher is actually that she talks about, her own personal teacher. They have kept her or him anonymous. So, but that's really beautiful. So the book has a lot of quotes in it. So you'll be reading a chapter. It'll have a quote in it. And so The Secret book, if you have read that, showed you how to create anything you want to be or have. So nothing has changed. The secret, she is saying, is still true today as it ever was. But this book, The Greatest Secret, reveals the greatest discovery a human being can ever make and shows you the way out of negativity, problems, and what you don't want, so you can live a life of permanent happiness and bliss. So I have discovered from the book a couple of things, that we are not our body, we are not our mind, and that is very empowering, that we are actually awareness. So the book really talks a lot about that. And then I just felt that was very liberating to know. So if some of you are identifying with your negative thoughts, feelings, emotions, and you think you are that, the great news is you are not. If you're identifying with your body and at the moment you might feel it's unhealthy, the great news is you are not your body. You are awareness, consciousness. And this book will go into more of that, of how you can, basically it dives into human suffering and how all of the human suffering begins in the mind, and then how to acknowledge that you're not your thoughts and you're not your mind, and how to really take back power and control in terms of, I wouldn't say control, but taking back the power to know that you are awareness. So it's a bit like, I kind of look at it like this. We have a heart, but we are not our heart. Like we are just not solely the heart. And so if we looked at the mind or the body, we are just not our body. But in the material world, it can get very easily, you can very easily identify with you just being a body and having to work on that body and having to look a certain way in this body, having to post a photo of the body. And so the greatest secret goes well beyond that, with a number of spiritual leaders and teachers that talk about that into further detail. It also talks about how you can reduce basically, if there's a whole lot of drama going on outside of you, which, as we know, will continue to happen this year and well beyond, because basically mainstream media can feed off drama and social media and things like that. And fear loves drama and fear really sucks people in at times when it comes to ratings of news and shows. So just keep that in mind. But the greatest secret will just teach you how to reduce fear, anxiety, and how to kind of separate yourself from all of the external noise, and then just to create bliss from within. And instead of reacting to the news or reacting to world events, that you can still sit back and have your beliefs, but not be angry about what's happening, but be more mindful and accepting. And I feel that that's going to be a really great blessing this year, and learning about how to end our own suffering and how to actually, the book goes into really great practices of how to surrender. Rhonda Byrne did an incredible job and really a beautiful, beautiful job in opening up about her own challenges or struggles with depression, and how she overcame that, and how she unlocked, I guess, trapped emotions or emotions and things that she'd been holding on to within the body, and how she surrendered and welcomed those feelings. So that's a really good practice that was in the book. I really loved that, and I would really encourage anyone, even if maybe you're not feeling depressed, and that's fine, but maybe you just have some previous events that have happened in your life, or things that have happened that you still haven't resolved. So maybe it's that person you haven't forgiven. Maybe it is a breakup that you're still trying to get over. Maybe it's something that happened to you when you were a child. The practice that she teaches in here is really, really beautiful. So there are things that you can do also at home, many, many quotes. So I should spell out, like, there are beautiful quotes. As an example, this is from Alan Watts from Nature of Consciousness. You yourself are the eternal energy which appears as this universe. So it goes through so many beautiful things. Rumi, the whole universe is contained within a single human being, you. So beautiful, beautiful quotes. So you'll be reading a quote from one teacher, reading a quote from another teacher, and then Rhonda will write her little bit and then at the end there's a summary of each chapter. So you will read numerous quotes from other spiritual leaders and teachers and people who have dedicated their life to discovering that they're more than their body or their mind. They're an awareness, and how to end human suffering, which starts in the mind. So there you have it. I really hope that gives you a little insight to the book. And, well, there we go. So this, The Greatest Secret, it's out on Amazon.com. You can get it in Australia at retailers, bookshops. You can buy it online. You can go to thesecret.tv. There's all the links. In America, it's on Barnes and Nobles, Books a Million. And there's numerous contributors to the book. And Rhonda is on a mission just to help you to feel better from within, to basically help you overcome past hurts, or to end human suffering. And that's something I'm really passionate about too, when it comes to helping you. So there you have it. So that's our book club wrap, The Greatest Secret. If you have read this book already, leave a comment. If you've already read some of Rhonda Byrne's previous books, or you watched The Secret, or if you are fascinated by learning from other spiritual teachers, or how to become bigger than your mind, or not to feel that you're your thoughts or your mind, let me know. Rhonda always says that there will be people who, believe in quantum physics or spirituality, and people who don't. And she's not out to convince anyone, and neither am I. I'm just here to share my thoughts, feelings, and beliefs that we are definitely more than our body and our mind. And I think I discovered that also when I was a young Aussie farmer, because the body can break down, the mind can dysfunction, but your soul has that purpose of wanting to serve others. So it goes well and beyond what your body and mind can do. So on that note, I love you all to bits. Be sure to subscribe to the Spirit Girl YouTube channel, to Yvette Lee Blowett's YouTube channel, to follow on Instagram. You've got the Spirit Girl travel page. There's loads and loads of previous travel shows there on my IGTV channel. You can also subscribe to the Spirit Girl podcast show. Going to be bringing more books to you this year, more incredible authors, more real stories, more words of wisdom, so we can learn, develop, and grow. And obviously, stay in touch on Facebook. We've got the Facebook Spirit Girl Book Club community there. Stay connected and set your goals for 2021. So what does that mean? I'm not going to go out and tell you you've got to read a book a week. If you want to, that's incredible. But I just want you to set your own goals, to be realistic, but to ask yourself some very basic questions. And Deepak Chopra's brilliant at this, and he has many free meditations on YouTube. But asking yourself the basic questions of, who am I? I always love to ask questions like, what is my intention? How do I want to feel? What do I want to call in? Who am I? What am I? How am I going to serve? That really, to me, is the biggest question I feel that every individual on this planet Earth right now could ask themselves. How am I going to serve? How am I going to serve others? How do you want to show up to the world? When chaos goes down and really terrible news breaks out, and there could be riots and there could be so much going on in the world, how are you going to show up? Are you going to show up with the anger, the hatred, or are you going to show up just like, I create my own bliss from within. I am abundant, all will be good. Like, I am the creator of how I feel from within. I'm going to show up with empathy, with an awareness that there are people who are angry and feeling all these emotions, but it's in my best interest to really just be aware of what's going on, to send love, and to hope that if we work from the inside out, what we can achieve is so much greater. Because when we become, when we're working on becoming who we truly are, of love, of light, of positivity, then from there, we can radiate compassion and kindness. And if we're creating a healthier space within, whether that be our mind, brain health, the overall health and well-being. If we can create a healthier well-being from within, then we can show up in the world. And I remember reading something, actually, it's in, I read something very recently. Now, I'm positive it was in Deepak Chopra's brand new book, Total Meditation, where it only took one awakened awareness being to dissipate millions and millions of negative thoughts or negative people. So keep that in mind. But we'll continue this discussion. But just ask yourself a few questions like that. Who am I? Who do I want to be? Who am I? What's my intention? How do I want to feel? What are my goals? My goals always go back to self-care. I feel that if I can get my self-care right, doing the daily meditation, the practicing the gratitude, moving my body. So if it's not walking up a hill with 1,400 stairs, then it's a very gentle hatha yoga or stretching or something in form of that. This year, like last year, I was incredibly amazing because I stopped drinking alcohol, and it's the best thing I've ever done. I think at Christmas I had like one low alcoholic drink, and even there I didn't feel like it because I'm my own best version without it. And I feel that I'm so much more awake and a much better person when I'm not under the influence of alcohol. So I will continue that ritual, which is pretty incredible considering I live in a country at times that prides themselves on drinking and having a good time and partying, and we need alcohol for that. But I'm here to tell you some incredible news that you can become really fulfilled within by serving and helping others, and by obviously developing your own spiritual growth. So I hope I inspire you to take better care of yourself this year, along with all of our authors, community, and podcast hosts too. So on that note, I love you to bits. I'll say goodbye. Bye for now. I'll see you on the next podcast show. Bye.